Ray Shalom. I'd like to give all honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'd like to do a lesson on Jacob's trouble. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to you brothers and sisters out there listening. Shalom. And Jacob's trouble is going to be a time of great tribulation. This Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, ever shall be. Here, so slavery, the flood, all the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah won't compare to Jacob's trouble. If we go into the definition of tribulation, the Hebrew word
Strong's G 2347. Thlipsis.
Thlipsis. In definition, it says oppressing together, pressure, metaphor, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of oppression, affliction, a lot of distress in the people, mainly Israel, 2/3. Jacob's trouble is going to be a time like never before. I'm going to go to Daniel's. Chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, that standeth before the children of our people. And there should be a time of trouble, such as never, since there was a nation, even to the same. And at that time, the people shall be delivered, every one that should be found written in that book. And it says there should be a time of trouble. That time of trouble is going to be lamentations more than woe. Go to Ezekiel, chapter 2. Start at verse 9. It says, and when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. That book is the Bible. And he spread it before me. It was written within and without. There was written therein lamentations, mourning and woe. Yeah, the Bible speaks of the past, the present, and the future. And we're getting closer to the future. We're getting closer to the time of great tribulation. We're getting closer to the day of YAHAWASHI, Mashiach. Let's go back to Daniel. Let's start all over. At verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, or stand up for the children of thy people. And there should be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, sluggy. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that should be found written in the book. And thy people is talking about the elect of Israel, that chosen 1/3. Because 2/3 of Israel is going to be cut off. Let's get that. It's in Zechariah, chapter 13. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, RAWCHAA, 2 parts therein should be cut off and die. That's the 2/3 wicked Israelites. But the third should be left therein. And that's talking about the 1/3. Lord willing, myself, You brothers and sisters out there, be a part of that number. Verse 9. I will bring the third part through the fire. I will fire them as silver is refined. I will try them as gold is tried. But they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord, YAHAWASHI is my power. Yeah, so we're going to be tried as gold is tried through the fire. You know? See, Jacob's trouble going to be Israel's last ass whooping from YAHAWASHI. And the Most High is going to do that by putting the spirit on the so-called white man, which is Esau, to bring that great wrath. And it's really YAHAWASHI bringing that wrath. If you go to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, YAHAWASHI, do all these things. So yeah, that tells you there, the Lord do all things. He make peace and he create evil. So he control the good and the evil. Got something else for that. Isaiah 10 and 5. And it read, O Syrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. And the modern day Assyrian is the so-called white man Esau. When it says the staff in their hand is my indignation, meaning this is the wrath of YAHAWASHI that's doing this. But Esau is not the only thing you're going to have to worry about, you two-third Israelites. It's going to be famine, pestilence, cannibalism. You know, niggas going to be eating each other. Shit going to be real. You know, we're coming to a perilous time. Get that. 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 3 verse 1. And it says, just know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. If you look the word, perilous.
Strong's G 5467. Chalipas. Chalipas.
Yeah, Chalipas. The definition, it says, hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. So yeah, we coming to a dangerous, harsh, and savage times. It's about to get ugly. You two-third Israelites are going to feel the wrath of YAHAWASHI. You're going to wish you hearken to the word and obey the Most High. I got something. Jeremiah chapter 15. Verse 3. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 3. And it says, I will point over them 4 cons. And at them is talking about you wicked Israelites, you two-thirds. It says, I will point over them 4 cons, saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI. The sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And that sword to slay is talking about Esau's Monshulo, this Maxine, Esau wicked technology, and the chip. That's all the sword, you know? And it says dogs to tear, and fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy, you know? during the famine, everyone's going to suffer. So there's going to be dogs eating their owners. Vultures are going to be flying around trying to pick you up by your shoulders and fly you back to the nest for supper. There's also going to be lions running around looking for prey as well. Let's go to Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 10. And it says, "They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words. They went after other powers to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers." So they that turned back to the iniquities of their fathers took about the same Israelites and went to stay in Egypt. And the Lord, he delivered them, but this time he's not. When it says they went after other gods, other powers to serve them, today, Jake following these false gods like Buddha, Muhammad, JC, and all these other idols that Esau created. Verse 11. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they should not be able to escape. And though they should cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them." Because during this grace period, these wicked 2/3 have the chance to repent and come back to their heritage. But instead, they don't. So when the Lord, YAHAWASHI, bring forth that wrath, it says they shall cry unto him, but he will not hearken unto them. And the reason why is because they didn't hearken unto his word. They didn't hearken unto the Lord. And you're just going to have to deal with that. Verse 12, it says, "Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the powers, unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of trouble." Yeah, so it's telling you that the Lord is telling you these other false prophets, these other gods, Jake praying to, offering incense to, it's not going to save them at all in their time of trouble. And that's because there's no power in these other names. There's no power in Muhammad. There's no power in Jesus Christ. The ultimate power is YAHAWASHI. And the prophets are crying out the true power of Israel. But Jake not going to get it until the days come. The prophets are warning Israel about the wrath of the Most High. Get that. This is Ezekiel chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 17. Yeah, this is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me." And them watchmen, starting with the apostles, Tahar, Gabal, and Ramlah, and the elders of GMS, down to the brothers like myself. And I'm not a part of GMS, but I know for sure YAHAWASHI is dealing with these brothers. If you look up the word watchman,
Strong's H, 6822. Safa. Safa.
the word is Safa. And the definition is to look out or about, to spy, keep watch, observe, watch, to keep watch, spy, to watch closely. So what are the men of the Lord doing? They're keeping an eye on watch. They're observing the ending times of this wicked society. Go back to Ezekiel 3:17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me. And when it says, therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me, that means the Lord speaks through his prophets. Amos chapter 3 verse 7, it says, surely the Lord, YAHAWASHI, power will do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So the Lord is speaking to us, and his secrets, part of them secrets is Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7. And it says, for alas, it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It's even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And he is talking about Israel, the elect of Israel. And just a reminder, Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners scattered across the four winds of the earth. Jacob's name was later changed to Israel after he wrestled with the angel and received his blessing. Yeah, so I'll read that again. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It's even the time of Jacob's trouble. He shall be saved out of it. That's not talking about wicked Israelites. It's not talking about you other nations. It's talking about the elect of Israel, the remnant. There's going to be a remnant that turn back to YAHAWASHI. Get that. Go to Apocrypha. Second Esdras, verse 9-21. It reads, Second Esdras, chapter 9, verse 21. I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape with a custard, and a plant of a great people. And that plant of a great people is talking about the elect of Israel. YAHAWASHI have kept the elect, and he's going to keep the elect. But the 2/3 are going to be destroyed and brought back later on in the kingdom. If you ask me, I don't want that. Verse 22 says, let the multitude perish then. That multitude is talking about the 2/3, which was born in vain. Let my grape be kept, and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect. That grape is talking about the elect. You know, 2/3 Israelites is going to go through this trouble. They're going to go through this martial law, the famine, these concentration camps, and the chip. Go to Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 49. This is Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 49. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood. You know, women going to be without their husbands, men going to be sent to be drafted to war. poverty. You know, poverty is already happening today, but in Jacob's trouble, it's going to be at an all-time high. Famine, which is the lack of food and water. The sword, it's killing instruments, for example, a gun. Pestilence, it's going to be plagues and diseases the Lord YAHAWASHI is going to use to destroy America. It says to waste our houses with destruction and death. And all of this is happening because the white man knows he has but a short time to start his new world order. This is Revelation 12, verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And that devil is talking about Esau. He know he have but a short time because the prophets are preaching his word, prophesizing the end of America. Go to Isaiah chapter 13, verse 2. And it says, lift ye up a banner, and that banner is his word, the scriptures, upon a high mountain. That high mountain is America. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And the gates of the nobles is talking about Esau, these wicked elites. They know they have but a short time. So Esau is going to do everything he can to take us down by using these Maximes, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, and a whole lot of shit. But stay strong, you believers, you brothers and sisters out there listening. Keep the faith and stay prayed up. As it says in Luke chapter 21. It's like this is Luke 21, verse 36. It says, watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. I pray you, brothers and sisters, be safe, you and your families. Just stay strong, keep the faith, stay prayed up. We almost home. We almost out of this place. The Lord willing, we soon reign with YAHAWASHI, Mashiach. With that being said, I'd like to say Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Abba.